Wake up in the morning, I'm feeling so blessed. Thankful for the Lord, I ain't even gon' stress. Even though I know that this world is a test, I'm still a leader of love. And even if it feels like it's all on your shoulders, devil on your back trying to keep your heart colder, tell them back up, let them know that you a soldier, right? And a leader of love. So whatever it may be, just make it all matter. Keep your spirits up, ain't no need to be a downer. In everything you do, everyone you encounter, lead with love. So whatever it may be, just make it all matter. Keep your spirits up, ain't no need to be a downer. In everything you do and everyone you encounter, lead with love. Leader of love.
Grand Rising, good morning. It is Friday and it is your leader of love. All week long, I've been talking about Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And of course, I'm going to end it that way. It's something it's just really important to me to address, to talk about, to just encourage people, people who may not even know anything about it, who don't wrestle with suicidal thoughts, who don't have depression, who don't know anything about anxiety. But maybe there's someone in your life who does, and you're just not aware. Well, here's some places you can go to get some assistance, some help, to understand some things, and maybe even tell them to go there. If you know someone who needs someone to talk to, and they don't really know where to reach someone at, how to reach someone, then they can reach them at the Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is 24 hours, 7 days a week. And it's 800-273-8255. 800-273-8255. Maybe they prefer the online chat. That's available as well. SuicidePreventionLifeline.org. SuicidePreventionLifeline.org. There is help out there for you. So on today being the last day, I've touched on 5 things this whole week on the Suicide Prevention Resource Center site, SuicidePreventionResourceCenter.org. They had 5 things, and I've been touching on them all week long, just to really just touch on things. Monday was ask, meaning that it's important to, kind of show that you genuinely care by genuinely asking people, how are you? Really just kind of caring. And Tuesday I touched on keeping them safe. That it kind of touched on the method for which suicide is being done by blacks. I really have been touching on mostly just my community for the most part. And it touched on, that for boys versus girls, the difference. Boys typically use guns. Girls typically use some form of strangulation. Wednesday, I talked about just being there. Just be there for someone. Be there for the person that needs you. Sometimes somebody just needs someone to be there for them. You can be that person. And then on Thursday, I talked about help them stay connected to help. Like I've been, telling you about the resource center, the hotlines, the websites. That is being able to help them stay connected to some form of help that they may need and how they can get that help. So today being Friday, the last day, today is follow up. Studies have shown that brief, low-cost intervention and supportive ongoing contact may be an important part of suicide prevention, especially for individuals after they have been discharged from hospitals or care services. You can be that support. Every now and then, go to lunch with a friend. Check up on them. You knew that they had hard times. You knew they were in the hospital. It's been made so that people know what they went through. How we are between social media, gossip, and everything else. It kind of gets out there if someone has attempted suicide and maybe they've gone to the hospital or they've spent some time under some kind of care to kind of help with their mental state. And so well, when you finish gossiping and sharing it and calling and telling somebody else, did you call and check up on them? Did you follow up with them? If they want to go to a support group, are you the kind of friend who will say, I'll go with you? Not because I need it, but because sometimes when you have to go to something new and no one there's nothing familiar, you feel nervous. I had a friend who wanted to go to a support group. It was for something different. She had lost someone and there was a support group and she wanted to go and she didn't know what to expect and she was nervous. But because I'm a friend, I said, I'll go with you. I didn't experience what she experienced, but I wanted her to feel like she had someone who was willing to support her as she was seeking support from a group that could relate to her. So I went with her. Be that. Be that friend who's willing to say, I'll go with you. Be that friend who's willing to check up on the person and say, yesterday I was talking to one of my friends and we were talking about something, and she was like, you know, she lives in Carolina. She was like, do I need to make a trip? Do I need to come in town? Be that friend who's willing to say, do I need to come there? Do I need to go with you? Do I need to come past the house? Be that friend. Because someone needs someone to follow up with them, to check on them. Be that person. This whole month is about suicide prevention awareness. And we need to become more aware that suicide is here and it is growing. The number of people who are committing suicide is increasing, especially in the Black community. And we are at a loss. We are blinded, deceiving ourselves, and in some cases, just downright hard and mean on the topic because we feel like nothing in life is worth that. I was talking to my friend and we were talking about the guy that did suicide the other day, Monday, I believe it was. And she mentioned that the fact of people kind of using the phrase of committed suicide. And she was saying how she didn't like that phrase. And I realized when you think about it, I was like, yeah. As she began to explain why she didn't like it, I could understand it. She was saying people treat suicide as if it is, while it is something that you choose to do, you lost a battle that you have been fighting. Typically, a person who commits suicide didn't just happen overnight. They were battling things within themselves, fighting anxiety, fighting depression. They were battling things and said, I lost the battle. I lost the fight. But we haven't even become, we kind of, well, really, that's really what we already were. And we're trying to work on changing that. But we've been so hard on it, and we've been so hard on people, which is why people, especially in the Black community, don't talk about it, don't share it, because people are so hard and so mean about it, and look at you as if you're weak and how dare you, especially if you're religious and you're spiritual, and it's kind of like, how are you religious and spiritual and you're wrestling with suicide? But it's because we lack understanding of it, and we don't have enough heart to go and get understanding of it. Get some understanding. And then begin to care about those who are dealing with it. We can help one another. We can support one another. We can be everything one another needs if we want to be. Do you want to be the person who says, I got you, to your friends? Don't be the person at the funeral that says, if I only knew. Because a lot of times there are signs. A lot of times people are saying, I'm good, but they're not really okay. Let us care. This is your leader of love. Visit me on my Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube page. Just so that you all know and understand, I, this month, am excited about my poem that I wrote in honor and in respect for the fight of suicide, and those who are dealing with it and wrestling with it and fighting to keep their life. And so I wrote a poem, and it is called, Lord, I forgot the name of the poem, Jesus. But the poem talks about suicide, and those who are just fighting the battle. And it's just really important to me, and I hope that you all will enjoy it. I will be posting it later on this month. And it just really touches on people saying, you know, I'm okay, when really they're not. And that's really what the poem, you know, the title is. It really is. You know, you ask them, are they okay? And they say, I'm good, but they're really not. Remember, in everything that you do and everyone that you encounter, lead with love. I promise you, it matters. Have a wonderful weekend.